Thomas, Benny, and Lenny Adams. I'm going to take just a few minutes and share with you a little history and also share with you the results of the trivia questions that we put online. The information that I'm going to be sharing is oral history, most of it, but there are a few actual facts that we have about the family. William and Elijah Adams were part Cherokee Indian, part Spanish, part Caucasian, and part African American. They met somewhere in South Georgia, and they had 4 children. One male child, whose name was Thomas Benny Adams, and 3 daughters. Minnie Adams, whom our Aunt Minnie, the second generation, was named after. Kate Adams and Georgia Adams. Benny Adams, our grandfather, met and married Lenny Berryhill in Sumter County, Georgia. They had 12 children. They moved to Central Florida, specifically Avon Park, around 1923, just 5 years after the town of Avon Park was founded. They brought all of their children, except one, with them to Avon Park. They raised them, except one, and that's part of the trivia question that we'll get to in a minute. They also brought Albert Welch, who was the son of Kate Adams, who married a Welch, to Avon Park with them because his sister Kate had passed away. And his sister Minnie took 4 of the children, and the others were adults. But our grandfather brought Albert to Avon Park with him. Georgia Adams, the youngest sister, married Walsh Jackson Sr., and they had 15 children who were our parents' first cousins. All of them were reared in Georgia. Minnie Adams met and married Nathaniel Welch, and they were blessed with 16 children. And they raised 4 of Kate Welch's children. Many of these family members migrated south to Florida after Benny Adams, our grandfather, moved to Florida. The very oral part of this story as to why they left Georgia is very interesting, and this was told to me by my father. There were 4 older brothers, and you can come up here and see this blanket with their names. But there were 4 other brothers: William, who was the oldest, Sidney, Leotis, and Herman. They worked the fields year after year, and this particular year, they worked the fields, and they told my grandfather, you didn't make any money. You took all the money you got for food and living in the house. And Benny Adams got mad and said, I'm out of here. And he took his 11 children, his wife, and came to Avon Park. He went to Avon Park. Okay. I'm trying to see exactly what else I wanted to say about that. Okay. The only other thing that I wanted to say was that most of the other grandchildren of Kate, Minnie, and Georgia also initially moved to Central Florida. And we still have many of those cousins in Central and South Florida. Okay? The next number went north, went to New York, Jersey, and Pennsylvania. And then Michigan, and started to work in the automobile industry, because the only work in Avon Park available was working in the orange groves, picking fruit or picking vegetables and so forth. Okay. The last thing I want to say about the Adams family, just as our grandfather was an entrepreneur, many of his sons were also, and many of his offspring. We have several Adams offspring who are business owners. Several of them are here today. And we owe that kind of entrepreneur spirit to our grandfather. And I'll tell you a little bit about that in a moment. I put on the family website 3 trivial questions. I sent a picture of 3 Adams children, and I asked you to identify their middle name, and you would win a gift card. Minnie Adams, I asked you to identify her name, middle name. It's Minnie Lee Adams. Minnie had 2 children, Chania and Lemuel Connick. The other one was Zella Adams, and we got her middle name, Zella Mae Adams. The third one was Uncle Herman. Nobody could guess his name. And isn't that interesting for those of you who knew Uncle Herman? He was just that kind of guy. He was very different. It was Wesley Adams. He's Herman Wesley Adams. And as he would tell you, call me Mr. Adams.
All right.
Call me, okay. So I had to add another question. But the second question was to identify who built the first 2-story building in the colored section of Avon Park, who had the first taxi cab in Avon Park, and who had the first barber shop, even though he wasn't a barber. And that was, as well, some of you who guessed, that was Herman Wesley Adams. And we didn't get a winner, but I needed to tell you that. We did get a winner for our grandfather. The question was, who owned the first drugstore in the colored section of Avon Park? And the only medication he could sell was BC and Stand Back head powder. That was the only thing he could sell. And someone did guess that right. I think it was it Richie? I think it was Richie. So Richie, here's your gift card. Now, how do you get to be an Adams?
Richie!
How do you get to be a part of the Adams family?
I'm married to Michelle King, but her mother is Mary Frances Smith, who is Ellen Adams' daughter. And she's one of the daughters.
One of them. Right.
The others are here,
Yeah.
and we all came in from Michigan.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And the next question was, the winner was Ginger Adams. What was the question, Ginger, that you answered? Debbie? What was the question that you answered correctly?
The one where the
Grandfather, who owned the drugstore.
owned the drugstore.
Right.
The two
He was the. I asked, the question was, who was the male Adams that owned the drugstore in Avon Park?
Correct.
And Debbie was the.
No, I won for the only child born.
Okay, you. Okay. All right. Okay. So who was the person who? Gloria. I'm sorry.
I won for the second story house.
You were the one who did that. Okay, Gloria. Gloria Ward won the one. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. Very good. Okay. So we all know how Gloria is related to that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So the last one was, who was the only child of Lenny and Benny Adams born in Florida? All the others were born in Georgia. The answer was Emmeline Dickey. It was Emmeline Dickey. And the person who won that was Debbie. Okay.
Now you can tell him, Sergeant.
Okay. Now, Debbie, you can stay up here for this reason. One of the traditions of the Adams family reunion was that the family of one of the Adams children who brought the largest number of participants to the family reunion would be rewarded. And based on the numbers that I saw yesterday, I think Benny and Callie Adams had the largest number of participants. Okay, all of their grandchildren and great grandchildren are in attendance. So this goes to Benny Adams descendants. Okay, and y'all stand up so everybody can see. Brief overview, and we will continue to add and dig for more information on our ancestors. Thank you.